Good morning and welcome to another episode of Like It or Leave It. It's Friday, May 19th. Hope you're enjoying yourself today and however you are watching, whether it is YouTube, SoundCloud, or soon to be iTunes. So, normally I would start off by saying we got a lot to talk about and go down the list, but we're not doing that today. I'm starting today off with my rant because there's this thing that happens in sports and it's got nothing to do with fans, it's got nothing to do with the players, but it just irks me to no end. And it has everything to do with sports writers, ego, and I don't know who the hell gave these people jobs. The All-NBA team came out yesterday. Okay? I have no issue with the guys that made the team. Westbrook, Harden, Leonard, LeBron, Anthony Davis. No issue with that. Those are, if you're doing it, especially because it's gone positionless now. There's no longer a center on the All-NBA team. Although they put Anthony Davis at center, but you know, he's not a center. That's fine. Those five guys deserve to make it. Here's my issue. James Harden became the first player to ever be a unanimous first-team All-NBA player. Why do I have an issue with this? Because it's the same backward-ass, hold my opinion or hold a grudge view, put it in your face kind of mentality that is reflected in the Baseball Hall of Fame when they vote, how no one's ever gotten 100%, and it's here too. Tell me, who the hell is really sitting there thinking, you know, I get that Russell Westbrook just led the league in scoring, I get he just averaged a triple-double for the first time in 40 years, I get that LeBron James is the best player on the planet, I get that Kawhi Leonard is the best two-way player in the game, but no, fuck that, they're not up for an NBA, I'm going to hold my vote. Because you know what? None of them ever had 100% before, and none of them getting it now. Who are you? Like, who has that mentality? Who has that mindset? Tell me who you are, please. Baseball is going to start going to now where they're going to do a public ballot because they're so sick and tired of it was like two guys didn't vote Ken Griffey last year for the Hall of Fame. Who the hell looks at Ken Griffey and goes, no, it's not a Hall of Famer. No. 600 plus home runs, greatest player of the 90s. No, not a Hall of Famer. Played center field, has the most gold gloves, or I believe tied with Willie Mays for most gold gloves in Major League history for center fielders. No, he's not a Hall of Famer. Who are you and where are you? There's a whole lot of people would love to know, including myself. Like, you know, I get being stubborn. I get having a strong opinion even if people don't agree with you. That's fine, but base it on something. Don't sit there and be like, well, no one's ever gotten 100%, so I just can't give them 100%. Who's first team All-NBA? Damian Lillard. Like, it's a joke. It's a 100% joke. The people, and I'm not here to sit there and say like, oh, sports writers shouldn't have the vote, or it should be the fans voting because you know that would turn into a terrible process, or it should be the players voting, that would turn into a terrible process. I mean, hell, Bill Russell won MVP on the players' vote, and Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 and 25, and Oscar Robertson averaged a triple-double. So clearly, the players and fans don't know what the hell they're doing either. But these sports writers, they're not what they were when they were initially placed in this position of having the votes that they have. Sports writers used to be the only people that went to games. When there were still day games in sports, when there was guys had two jobs because none of these sports paid enough to be a full-time job, the guys that went to the games were the sports writers, were the news editors. That's not the case anymore. We have this wonderful thing called cable television. Hell, we're in 2017. We have this beautiful thing called streaming. You don't even need cable anymore. These games are viewed by millions upon millions upon millions of people. And just because these select few write for newspapers, and I'm really convinced write for newspapers like, what happened in the game last night? I don't know, the Warriors won. Alright, Warriors won shooting 30 points, Curry had 40. Hey, he didn't play last night. Oh shit, give me another player on the team. Like, when you have the audacity or the mindset to deny some of these guys, like, just because of some 100% threshold that you think no one should get because no one's gotten it before, you should lose your vote. You know, give me a legitimate case why someone shouldn't be number one, and you know what? I'll listen to your opinion. I might disagree, but I'll listen. There is no way that you looked at this season, you watched a single game. Hell, if you've ever looked at a basketball before, you could sit there and look and be like, oh yeah, no, LeBron wasn't unanimous MVP. There's guys who deserved it more than him. Especially because the only guy you could maybe make the case for at that same position, you put him on the All-NBA team fucking anyway. Like, Kawhi Leonard's the second best small forward in the league, and you put his ass in the All-NBA first team anyway. So tell me, who the hell are you really putting there that you thought is like, oh, this guy should have been ahead of him? Or someone should have been ahead of Westbrook? Please let me know. And when you tell me, please let me know what your address is, because I'd love to send some very angrily lettered mail. Yeah, I said that. Angrily worded letter. See, that's what I am. I can't even talk right now. I shouldn't start these off with rants. It just messes my whole thing up. Like, I just don't get it. I said, it's just as bad as the Baseball Hall of Fame. Who looks at Nolan Ryan is like, no, he's not a Hall of Famer. You know, I mean, he's like the most dominant pitcher since Cy Young, and Cy Young pitched against, you know, fucking high schoolers. Like, he's not in the Hall of Fame. Ken Griffey Jr., 600 plus home runs, he's not in the Hall of Fame. You know, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, these guys drive me crazy. But they're professionals. Don't worry, guys. Professionals are on the job. Okay. Now that I got that off my chest, let's ease into some scores. Then we'll get into some more relevant basketball news. Pirates beat the Nationals 10-4. Tigers over the Orioles 6-5. Rockies beating the Twins 5-1. Rockies are back on their winning way. The video did not jinx them. Fuck you people. Rangers over the Phillies 8-4. Cubs over the Reds 9-5. Brewers over the Padres 4-2.
Fuck.
Blue Jays over the Braves 9-0. Brewers and Padres played a doubleheader. Padres lost both games. No, I'm sorry. The Rockies and Twins played a doubleheader. Twins won the second game 2-0. And the Royals over the Yankees 5-1. Hope you guys are all going to have a great weekend. I know I'm going to have a good weekend. I've got the day off from work tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. Or about the day off today. I apologize tomorrow. I've got the day off today. It's going to be a great weekend. So, how many of you would agree that there is such a thing as right time, right place? I would think if you have an IQ over a dying monkey, you probably agree with this. No matter where you are in life, sometimes it's just good to be in the right position, just to get kind of lucky. Maybe you run into the guy, it's kind of an old school example, but you run into the guy who owns the grocery store, is a manager at some company. He's like, hey, isn't your son looking for work? Yeah, he is, and he can get your son a job, or your daughter a job. Always be worried about people that can get your daughter a job. When you are in the right place, the right situation, which is one of those things they've always said, you know, extroverts create their own luck because they're out and about and they just happen to run or bounce into more situations. Completely agree. This is what makes it really hard when you compare players of different generations. Sometimes you're just born in the right generation. Wilt Chamberlain was born in the right generation. He was 7'1", like 260, 270 pounds. The next biggest guy in the league was like 6'9", 200. Of course he scored 100 points in a game. He's playing against people who would be considered now high school level. Hell, Bill Russell's in the same boat. Bill Russell got 11 titles when there was like 8 teams in the league, and he played against guys who delivered mail on the weekends. Like, there is such a thing, you know. You take even someone like, someone who, like a World B. Free. World Joe B. Free would probably be a Hall of Famer if he played in this day and age. You know, Reggie Miller, I don't even want to think about the amount of threes Reggie Miller would have at this point if he played in this era, because Reggie Miller had to, while he did shoot a lot of threes, he kind of had to force himself onto his team and force himself onto his coach, because it was not a popular mindset. That wasn't the way the game's been played for all these time, you know, for all you 100% vote getters. LeBron is perfect for this generation because not only is his athleticism plays in any generation, let's be clear about that, the dude's a freak in that regard, but if you look at the physicality of the league now and the physicality of the league then, and I'm not just trying to make the back in my day argument, there's not a back in my day I can go to, I'm 22, but the physicality is simply just different. When the Lakers and Celtics played, or when the Bulls and the Celtics would play, or the Bulls and Pistons, like, there was a rule at one point. It was kind of the unspoken rule. If you're scoring 30 on us and we're down 20 plus, bro, we're coming for your neck. I mean, Kurt Rambis just got, the highlight that's always out there is Kurt Rambis just got clocked running down the court. Did nothing wrong except score 25 points. But just running down the court, and I mean just gets clocked. You can't do that nowadays. Otherwise, it's a technical 10 and they kick you out of the sport. It's part of why not only is right time, right place a thing and how that helps him. The other thing that started to pop up on radio and shows this week were the argument and debate of if he gets to, and it's a real possibility and it's kind of terrifying, it's a possibility, if he gets to 10 straight finals, does that make him the greatest ever, even if he doesn't win them all? And there's been people on both sides of the fence, the people that say it's like, yeah, if you had a quarterback that got to 10 Super Bowls, how would you view him? If you had a baseball player that got to 10 World Series, how would you view him? And I'll tell you how we view them. We view them like they're not the greatest ever. You know who has made the most consecutive Super Bowls as a starting quarterback? Jim Kelly. Do we think Jim Kelly's a great quarterback? Absolutely. Do we think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback? Absolutely. Is there anyone who's ever once mentioned him as the greatest of all time? Fuck no. Take his own contemporaries from that same draft class. No one thinks he's better than Marino, who only made it to one. No one thinks he's better than Elway, who lost 3. There's guys that have made... No one. I think there's people that probably put even Eli Manning, and I have a very low opinion of Eli Manning, but Eli Manning above him because he's won 2 Super Bowls. Regardless of my opinion on the man, I've got a not nice opinion, I guess would be the best way to describe it about Eli. I think that's the only San Diego thing about me as far as my sports go. Just because he might get to 9 or 10 straight finals is because of his right place, right time. He's playing in an era where, like, I made this point the other day, he's not going through Hall of Famers. And the few people you could say are going to be in the Hall of Fame, he's played with. Like, if you look at the last 6 or 7 guys that are going to be in the Hall of Fame from the Eastern Conference of these last 7 or 8 years, he played against, obviously, the big 3 in Boston at the end of their careers. Dwayne Wade played with. Ray Allen he did play with. Let me rearrange that as well. He played against Ray Allen and then played with him, of course. I don't believe Chris Bosh is, but there is some people that make the case Chris Bosh played with. Some people are going to make the case that Kevin Love, if he gets to have more titles with them, that he'd be in the Hall of Fame. And then you got to go back to the last guy before that was probably Shaq. And Shaq did absolutely 0 when he got to the East. Post Miami, he did absolutely 0. And LeBron brought Shaq in when he was 37 years old and just overweight and couldn't play anymore. But hey, there was no big men in the NBA, and it literally meant something for Shaq to just be 7 feet tall, 300 and... I'm not gonna try to guess the man's weight. 300 and large pounds, and just be big. He couldn't do much, but he was just big. Like, I think Shaq's, when he was with the Cavaliers, he averaged like 5 points and 5 rebounds, which is a joke considering what he as a player was. Like, LeBron, drafted at the right time, went to the right place, whether you think Cleveland was well run or not, has played in the right era, because he can be the bully in this era. You could not be the bully in the 80s. He could not have been the bully in the 90s, because they would have clocked him. Having one of these games where he's dribbling between his legs, he's showing his back to guys, dribbling between his legs. He is spinning the ball up like this. I mean, he's doing stuff that I do when I play with the kids at my work. He's doing this to grown men who, I'm sorry, it's like, I never want to put myself in the position because they have a lot more on the line than I do, you know, like millions and millions of dollars. But, I mean, personally, you just got to fight someone. Like, if he's going to disrespect, like, I hate the disrespect, you got to fight. But in this instance, it's like, if he had played in the 80s, 90s, someone would have fought him. Dennis Rodman would have put all 4 knuckles in between all, how many teeth we got in our mouth? 32, 26? It's whatever number of teeth we got in our mouth. Dennis Rodman had his whole fist in LeBron's mouth. And that's not saying that he wasn't good enough to play in that era. Just saying the difference in the generation would have made a difference on LeBron's career. I promise I don't hate the man. I just hate the way the media reflects him. Go check out ESPN and FS1 ruined LeBron James for me. I'll put the link in the description. Man, I just feel like I'm mad today.
Yeah, you're pissed off, bro.
I'm a little heated. I'm a little heated. I told you I'm having a good weekend, but I'm a little heated right now.
Is it time for a sponsor?
Sponsor. I go check out my homeboys got these shirts. Highly educated. If you like them, hit me up. I'll show you where to get them. But yeah, highly educated, man. I mean, you know, it's just what it is. What it is. I don't even know if he still make the shirts anymore, but he'll make some if you want some. Man, sponsoring 101.
He'll make it if you want it. He'll make it if you ask.
Absolutely.
Somewhere.
That's fine, you know. But the shirt's nice, though. Alright, so Giselle Bunchkin, I can't pronounce her last name. Tom Brady's wife. She had an interview the other day, and normally I wouldn't talk about this kind of thing because it falls under my classification of we don't have headlines, so we just sit there and glorify, well, what did his wife say? Well, what was the Twitter reaction? What was this? But this one I think has merit, and I'll tell you why. And I'm not a big conspiracy theory, but I truly believe this right now. She went on in her interview to say that they asked her, how long do you think Tom's going to play for? And she said, I don't know. I know he wants to keep playing, but I'm scared that he keeps playing. You know, I want to make sure that he comes home safe and doesn't have any long-term damage. And they asked her, has he had anything that suggested long-term damage? And she said, yeah, he had a concussion just last year that they didn't tell anyone about. Probably not a smart thing to go on national TV and tell him, you know, hey, that thing we kept secret, now I'm telling you. The league already doesn't like your husband. But I thought about it for a second, like, well, why would you... She's not a dumb person. She's worth more than him, I think. I know they're both like $1 billion couple, but I think she's slightly more. But they're both very strategic, and they have a very good process about them. Like, I don't think they do anything without it being planned out. Although I thought this about another human being, and he's just completely proving me wrong. Go Presidents. But Tom Brady made the comment when he was asked last year, how long do you want to play? He said he wants to play until he's 45. And if he could keep going, he'd play even longer. Now, I personally don't believe he's going to play till he's 45. I don't think the human body allows you, even with the rules the way they are, to take that kind of punishment. Your body just naturally breaks down. And quarterbacks have a very hard trajectory downwards. I mean, they don't gradually get worse. They just kind of break and break immediately. Brett Favre played forever, showed no signs, took the wrong hit, and he broke. Peyton Manning played forever, even with, and people say the neck surgeries, but he came out after the neck surgery and had one had set every record in the book one season, and the other season threw 37 touchdowns. I'm sorry, he had 3 seasons. One at 37, one at 36, and one at 55, and then completely fell off a cliff and threw 9 and 17 interceptions. They don't gradually get worse, they just break. Joe Montana, he just broke. But I thought about it. What if this is Tom's way out of the league? Follow me here. Tom Brady and Roger Goodell are not friends. They don't like each other. They don't see eye to eye. So, obviously with Deflategate, don't like each other. And he had the motivation to, I'm going to make this guy that I felt wrongly persecuted me, he's going to have to hand me this trophy, and I'm going to metaphorically stick my middle finger up, and I'm going to stick it to him. So, I don't care what you do to me, I'm still the best in this league, and you will have to respect that. Not if, though, he's hiding quote-unquote concussions. Because the league is going to have to look into this. Anytime you hide an injury, the league has to look into it. Richard Sherman went through it last year where there was something about his ankle, had twisted his ankle or something like that. Something severe enough it was supposed to be on the injury report, but it wasn't. And so the league had to look into it, and they fined Seattle, I believe it was a 5th-round draft pick. So the league's going to look into this. Meaning, we're going to start the year off, because it's Tom Brady, with another Tom Brady versus the league situation. Okay? Following me here? How does Tom Brady stick it back to the league, even if he hits his wall, which I think is coming really soon, and he falls off a cliff? Well, you just play this procrastination game with the league in terms of, now that you've got, okay, we got to look into the concussions. Well, then you start throwing little jabs. You start doing little minor infractions. When you take minor infractions, you take the concussion, you take the Deflategate, you take, obviously with Spygate, regardless of how you feel if Tom Brady's guilty or innocent in any of these things. You take all these things. The league does have a point where player conduct and your conduct and behavior will get you kicked out of the league. In what better way than the man who, if Roger Goodell kicks him out of the league, Goodell has already lost the PR battle to such a degree. If he has to kick Tom Brady out of the league in a justified or procedural way, he will be vilified, and I mean forever. This man has already booted the draft. This man is already disliked across most teams. He can't go to Massachusetts. I'm pretty sure they have a sign on the border of Massachusetts. It just says, no Goodell. This guy, he gets kicked out of the league as a rival to the league and a hero to every fan who hates Roger Goodell. What a way if you're Tom Brady, the 6th-round draft pick who the league wouldn't take when he first came into the league, the guy who's been vilified due to Spygate and other reasons, and at one point, 5-6 years ago, was the most hated player in the league. What a way to walk out a hero. With the ultimate middle finger to Roger Goodell, with the ultimate middle finger to the sport. Because you can't stop you from getting the Hall of Fame. You're still going to get that 6 years after you're gone. And you get kicked out, you could have played until 45. You could have played for even beyond that. It's the unknown. What's part of Jordan's greatness? He retired early twice. What if he had played all the way through? We don't know, but we can speculate. And part of the speculation, with speculation, in this sense, comes glorification. Use my big words now. Tom Brady is going to force Roger Goodell's hand into kicking him out of the league, turning himself into the biggest hero the league's ever had, which, what a way to put a spit on his career. The most Super Bowls ever, the most wins ever. You won't have the yards and the touchdowns, but you don't care. And you will never be able to say that Tom Brady broke down or Tom Brady had to give it up. He was the greatest until the end. Not that I'm into conspiracy theories or anything like that. But, just saying. And I'm going to make this last segment here relatively quick. Because I've been told I talk about this man too much. And I'm only talking about him because you guys keep bringing him to my attention. Not my most popular, but my most commented video, or my most commented subject commented on, apologize for all you English majors out there, is Kyrie Irving is overrated. And, you know, I love it now at this point. Like, it's, you know, it's the argument is no longer, well, you're backing him up by saying he's done this or his stats or his play. No, now it's just like, I just had people say last year, it's like, well, you just fucking suck at life and you didn't make the NBA. Cool. All right. You're right, I didn't make the NBA. I don't quite think I suck at life, but hey, why not?
You suck.
Maybe I do suck. But you know, I'm gonna just throw some numbers out at you really quick here and tell me if I'm right or wrong. The guy that was considered a top 5 point guard, the guy who's considered the best player LeBron's ever played with. What's he doing in the playoffs? When you're supposed to be at your best. Where you guys all made him a hero last year. Because you said he was better than Steph Curry. He elevated his game. He was right there with Jesus when he split the Red Sea. Oh, he's shooting 39% from the field and 26% from 3 and still turning the ball over at the same rate. Oh, his usage rate has gone down because LeBron's doing it by himself. Oh, that's right. He's becoming the player that he is, which is fine for a 23-year-old. They're not supposed to be that great at this stage in their career. You know what he did pre-LeBron? He got the number 1 pick in the draft twice. You know how you get the number 1 pick in the draft? You don't do good. I keep seeing, like, name out of all the NBA point guards that were in the playoffs. Give me one that you think he was definitively better than. And I'm excluding in this example George Hill only because George Hill is a combo guard that they just simply throw at point guard. But he's not a real point guard. It's like if you wanted to put LeBron at point guard, he'd be better than all of them. But that's not the point. If you sit there and pull up sorry, here real quick. My screen went away. If you run team by team, or even just the top of the league. There's some point guards who didn't even make the playoffs. Like, let's start in the West. Warriors and Blazers. He's not better than Steph. Dame Lillard has the exact same stats and does it with far less teammates, far less help. The Clippers, he's not better than Chris Paul. The Rockets and Thunder, the 2 top MVP candidates of the league. Spurs, okay, I'll give you a case. He's better than 39-year-old Tony Parker. Cool. Tony Parker's not even that old, but I swear Tony Parker's been 45 since I knew him. The man just looks old. Mike Conley, he's not more efficient than him. Isaiah Thomas, he's going to finish 4th in MVP voting. Rondo, okay, I'll give you Rondo. He's better than Rondo. The Wizards, he's not better than John Wall. The Raptors, Kyle Lowry, have you seen Kyle Lowry's stats against Kyrie Irving? Like, I hate to sit there and, like, vilify someone who's, you know, you want to be straight up, who has done better in his life than I have. I'll give him that. He made it into Duke. He was the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. He's been an all-star. But he's just not what you guys think he is. Like, And it's not even like a personal attack on him. It's simply like the media just sucks in the way they portray him. And I get it. He's LeBron's teammate, you know. Hush, hush, and everything they do is great. But sit there and really think about it. Do you really think 39, 26, and 5 assists, turning the ball over is that a top 5 point guard? No, because if you did, you would have said Stephon Marbury was the top 5 point guard. And bro, we all know Stephon Marbury's not that. Once again, you guys, thank you very much for all the support. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud. Hoping to get this iTunes thing up. I still haven't got my email back, but hoping to get that soon. I had pretty good day yesterday. I got over 100 views yesterday. Added some subscribers. So once again, thank you for the support. Tell anyone that's willing to listen. Tell some people that aren't willing to listen. Tell a deaf man. Like, literally just be like, hey, bro, I got you. You know, hit him up. Just type YouTube in on his thing. Like it or leave it. Let's get this thing going. And I dropped my pen.